Hello everyone, and welcome back to Season 1 of my Let's Play series. You have joined episode 46, and today I have been working on improving our wither spawn setup. I would like to actually get it fully automated, and to do that, I'm going to need a few more things. I'm going to want one of these detectors. And I'm also going to want some kind of a timer. Let's see, we can do a timer from Dark Utilities or a timer from RF Tools. Let's see what we need for this compared to this guy. Did I teach it how to make a machine base already? I sure did. So let's go ahead and go with the one from RF Tools. We're going to want to teach it how to make a few more of these things, I believe. I don't think I ever taught it to make a clock. Let's double check that real quick. And no, I never taught it to make a clock. So let's teach it. And as you can see, I've been expanding the crafters as well. I've also given us a few more of these 64K storage disks. Well, let's see. We were trying to make a timer. I think it knows how to make the rest of that stuff. So let's go ahead and teach it to make the timer. And then we'll see if it will auto-craft one for us. It sure will. And I'm also going to want a mob grinder, which I've already taken the liberty of teaching the grid how to make. So we should be able to get one of those. That was pretty quick. So let's check on our timer. And it is ready. So let's pop down to the detention center. And as you can see, I've moved some of this stuff around a little bit. And I've also taken the liberty of setting up an item interface, which I have already set up to deliver soul sand and wither skeleton skulls. And this is going to function pretty much the same way our chest did. This is going to make it a little easier for me to control automatically spawning the wither. So let's go ahead and I may have to go all the way down there. So the item interface now should be filling up with soul sand and wither skeleton skulls, which it should be delivering in much the same fashion that our chest was. I believe it's going to fill this up with the soul sand first, and then it is going to start filling up the wither skulls, which is just fine. And so what we're going to want to do is let's find out how this timer works real quick. 20 ticks is 1 second, so let's try 40. That'll give us 2 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this button. And apparently a piece of my floor. Which, as you may have guessed, since I'm carrying about half a stack of my flooring with me, it's a problem I've been having, just because my pick is so quick. See, I believe the redstone signal comes out of the side that is red. Let's get a lever. I'm going to want one of those anyway. And And let's go ahead and give this a little test. And let's get some redstone. Now this is how I kind of test things. If I want to find out if it's which side is giving the redstone signal. And there you can see it's pulsing now because that lever's on. If I turn that off, we should see... No, it's still going. I may need to set this up. I'm going to try not to break my floor this time. There, haha, I can do it without breaking the floor. So we may need a piece of redstone conduit to make this work the way I'd like it to. I'm not sure that that lever was reaching it quite like I wanted it to. Let's see if I can... Yeah, it does. Okay. So now maybe? Interesting. Maybe I need to put it on a different side. And this is why I like to test things before I go ahead and fully implement them. This should be responding to redstone signals. Let's see, maybe if I put it there. Still no? See what happens if we put it down this way. Well, maybe we will need to go with the timer from the other one. I could have sworn that that would have responded to a redstone signal. I'm a little confused. Let's see. If I put a lever here, and so the trouble with this is I don't think it's going to let me probably put that redstone in my backpack. Don't think you can run redstone up and down on walls. No, you sure can't. See what the manual says. Interesting. So I'm thinking that this timer actually won't work for what we want to do. I actually need it to stop. Well, that was kind of weird. But let's go see if we can get a different kind of a timer. And I may even try this with the redstone clock since I just happen to have one handy. Now what I don't know is if I'll be able to get this to work with the detector. I think I can. So let's see. See if this is getting our wither skulls yet. It sure is. I'm thinking I may want to get some cobblestone out here. And let's just grab a stack of it. So I'm going to want to, setting it up this way, I'm going to want to block these other slots off to make sure that it doesn't, let's try it that way. One at a time, please, sir. There we go. Now that way I'll be sure that only that upper left slot gets filled up. And I'll do the same thing with the soul sand. Just a little trick for inventory management. I did a similar thing with our canola setup in those automatic precision droppers. And this is just a way to make sure that it's not going to be placing items, or it's not going to be receiving items that it won't place. Because it's only going to be placing items from that upper left slot. I should be able to send the rest of this stuff back to the grid. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. The nice thing about this interface here is it's not going to care where we get that stuff from, as long as it's in the grid. So let's get a lever down here first. Make sure it is off. So that is going to spawn way too many withers, way too quick. Yeah, using the redstone clock, not a good idea. There we go. That should stop it. Man, that room got crowded. I think if I had gotten even one more wither in there, I think we would have had a shield failure. Fortunately, I had most of this other stuff set up in advance. So the redstone clock is placing them just a little too quick. Wow. There are quite a few of them in there. And, fortunately, I might be able to actually use this to demonstrate part of what I've got set up. Is I have a vacuum hopper in the ceiling and an XP hopper in the floor. So any XP orbs that drop from those guys should end up getting collected in here. And you know, I may have never actually set this to extract. So now's probably a good time to check on that. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to do at all. There we go. I think I did. I'm just not sure, so I'm going to double check here. Extract, always active. Yep, sure did. So let's see. Turn that off for now. See, I'm going to clean this back up really quickly. I will be back in just a minute. Okay, I am back, everybody. And I think part of what I'm going to want to do also is I'm going to set up a system similar to this that is dedicated for making soul sand. Basically, so I do not run out of soul sand. Because as I'm sure you figured out, soul sand is a crucial component for this. So I'm thinking over here, I'm going to go ahead and set up something similar to that. In fact, I may even do that in this little room over here. So let's see if we have a dropper, which we do. And I'll also take a atomic reconstructor, which I happen to have one of. And I'm going to need a redstone torch. In fact, I'll take 2 of those. Clear some of this stuff out of here. Could have sworn that I had 2 detectors. You know, well, I'll just ask for another one. Oh, I do have 2. Okay. And we're going to set this up pretty similar to the way we've been doing it. We'll have a redstone torch under here. With the atomic reconstructor. There. That's the deactivation mode. And we're going to want a little bit of redstone conduit. Let's go ahead and grab half a stack of it. And the wrench on me still? Yeah. And let's see, I'm not sure which way I'm facing here. Let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. And then right about, let's take it over one more. Right about here, I'm thinking is where we're going to want a block with a pressure plate. Well, that's cool. I didn't know you could move those around like that. Interesting. So let's grab a pressure plate. I think these wooden ones tend to work best for this. I'm going to want to dig under here to make sure that this is connected to the top. Where'd my wrench go? And up, we're going to want in out. That's got a little bit of power, but I'm going to want to make sure that's got some power. And I think I've got some coming. Yeah, there we go. Straight down the middle there. Oh, well, here's a nice little underground area. Which I probably didn't need to dig that far down anyway. There we go. constructor is up there. Do I have any conduits on me now? Well, let's get some power conduits. That should be plenty for now. We'll make sure that's set to insert. There we go. Now that guy should be getting power all the time. Cover this back up. And let's get that dropper up there. And do I have a crafter on me? No. I think I've got one left in the grid. Where'd it go? There it is, crafter. See if I can't spin this guy around where he needs to be. And let's get our soul sand in there. And I'm thinking I should be able to run a nice little hidden conduit down here. Or a cable anyway. Yeah, there we got some cable. I think I missed a spot. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. It gets so dark in here. Let's turn that on. I sure did miss a spot. Night vision to the rescue. That's not quite where I wanted that one. Make sure I'm going to be able to get out of here. There we go. So hopefully that is set up to make soul sand now. Let's cover this stuff back up. I wanted to be super sneaky about it. I think I can go ahead and run this stuff over this way. There we go. There we go. And I'll granite this all up in a little while. Now, I don't think I've got any soul sand in the grid right now. So let's see if it'll give us a piece of it. Did I forget to click start? Oh, you know what? This is why I wanted the other redstone torch, because that should be in deactivation mode. And you know what might be handy here is I'll end up crafting another one of those solignolias to place over by here. But let's go ahead and get a vacuum hopper. Or vacuum chest, excuse me. And this time I think we're just going to go with an importer. Let's get that vacuum chest out of there first. While that is crafting, I'm thinking might not be a bad idea to do it this way. Still have some cables on me, and I do. Put a cable there, and hopefully that importer is close to done. Let's go ahead and eat a little bit before I start starving to death. See if our importer is done. Yeah. Get a wrench ready, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to spin this around. Yeah, it sure looks like it. There we go. And we can put a vacuum chest here, hopefully. Let's turn that range. Let's show the range on this, and let's turn this down to maybe the size of the room there. Shouldn't need to be much larger than that. Let's try to craft some of that soul sand again. Of course, I keep forgetting things. Let's just snag a piece of this stuff. Oh, I've got some right there, so we won't need to. Okay. And let's go ahead and get an item filter. And I'm going to go ahead and whitelist it this time for soul sand. And let's try it one more time. There we go. Oh, I got a little too close to it. Looked like it was going to work. I just want to check and make sure that the hopper's actually going to pick that up. Just sworn that needed to be in deactivation mode. Let's double check. It's in deactivation. Wondering if I missed somehow. Maybe we'll give that strong signal. Maybe that was the problem. Well, it should be firing. Perhaps that needs a strong signal as well. There, that looks like it did the trick. Yeah, there we go. We needed some strong signal. No big deal. Quick fix. So let's test it one more time. And so hopefully when we look in the grid, we'll have one piece of soul sand. And I'm going to say no because it's being delivered to this item interface, which is exactly why I wanted to set this up. Let's get one of our detectors. And I'm going to set this for soul sand. And let's say that we always want to have 128. And this is going to emit a signal when it's under the amount. And then if I set the crafter to only work with the redstone signal and trigger auto crafting with the redstone signal, maybe I only, there we go, ignore redstone signal. So this should hopefully start crafting some sand for me. I'll put some of this stuff up. Under the amount, items. I know I've got sand in there. I have plenty of sand. You know, it may be doing this. I may need to actually have that attached to a cable, but I don't think so. I'm thinking I may just be too close and maybe that thing's just a little slow. I think for just a minute it might be a good idea for me to take my ring off. And let's put that up for just a bit. Let's see what the interface is telling us. That's saying we don't have any soul sand. So any soul sand we're getting is going directly into those mechanical users. I honestly thought this would happen a little quicker though. So while that is doing its thing, let's work on getting another timer. Should know how to make all that other stuff. In fact, I think I can go ahead and just put those up. So let's see if we can't get this other timer to work. I am a little confused because that should be working. I mean, maybe it. Interesting. Try putting it behind it. I may need to reset it. Yeah. Let's try that again. There, it's working. Not sure why it would matter where it was, but that should stop when it reaches 128. It might be a little bit slow to get there, but I think it'll get there eventually. If I wanted to help speed that up, let's see if I can't just get some sand. And we'll just throw it up here into this dropper. We want about 2 stacks of it. There we go. Now it's actually starting to go like I thought it would. Let's see if we're getting any kind of a build up now. A little bit. It's trying. Yeah, now we're starting to get a backlog in there. So I think we're safe to go ahead and continue. And let's hope that that's going to stay off this time. And again, we'll try about every 40 seconds. There we go. That should stop that timer. Yeah, it did. Good. Okay, so this timer is working the way that I hoped it would. And the last step is we are going to replace this switch. And just for a minute, let's set this to something ridiculous like 10,000. That should give me some time to replace this. And what I'm going to want to do is connect that to the grid, like so. And let's get a Nether star, so I can tell this thing that we want Nether stars, and let's just keep a stack of Nether stars. And we'll emit a signal when it's under the amount. And we'll set this back to, say, 40. I don't have 64 in there, do I? to go ahead and tell it to pick up this sulfur too. Which probably went in my backpack. It sure did. They seem to be dropping a fair amount of sulfur. And if you don't do something with that stuff, it'll just end up giving your system a bunch of lag. Let's turn that back on. I think I may want to add a pass for the item. There we go. I think I may want to, this appears to be working backwards, so I'm going to tell it to emit a signal when it's above the amount. I think I'm going to adjust this as well. Let's make that every 100. What I should do is try to keep track of how long it takes this shield to kill a wither. I think the other thing I'm going to want to do is let's set this back to something ridiculous like 10,000. And we'll give these withers a chance to die off here. Let's see if we can't go ahead and get this mob grinder installed. So I think that's the side I'm going to want facing the withers. So as soon as they're dead, I'm going to go and there we go. And this is why I'm going to put that mob grinder in there, because they're just not walking into that shield on their own. As soon as this guy kicks it, I'm going to go ahead and get this mob grinder up here. And I think we will need to supply it with power, but that shouldn't be a problem. So let's do that real quick. Let me turn the shield off for just a second. Yeah. There we go. Do I still have some power conduits? I put them all up already. Should just need the one. So that should be getting power now. Yep. And let's turn this back down to something like 100. So let's see what happens now. I may actually want that inside of the shield. So let's put those nether stars back in there so it'll stop trying to spawn them. Let's get that floor back there. It looks like this setup is just going to need a little bit of fine-tuning. So I'm going to, as soon as these last couple of withers die, I'm going to see if I actually need to place that inside of the shield. So I'm going to need my wrench. There we go. I'm thinking I may need to. That may be why. So let's try to put that right in there. Of course, I may have had it backwards too, so we may need to try a couple of things here real quick. I should be able to put these shields right back. And let's see, let's right click that, and that should turn the shield back on. And let's get another power conduit real quick. Sure, that's on insert. And let's try it one more time. Take those nether stars out of there for a second. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap the episode up here. I'm not quite sure why this mob grinder is giving me a hard time. So I will address that when we come back in the next episode. I hope you guys are still enjoying watching me derp things up. If you are, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to be notified of videos that I put out in the future, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me screw things up still. Thanks for stopping by today, guys, and take care.